I could trace it all the way back to 7th grade. I got heavily involved in the sort of rapture, apocalyptic type stuff. And it was an online group that I was sort of in, and I had a terrible fear of not being raptured, I would say. So if you want to say, I technically accepted Jesus into my life and put my trust in him a long time ago. But I'd say I did not have the correct community of believers around me to help me out. When you have a community of people around you that consistently predicts the end of the world and it never happens, you start to lose faith, especially if that's where your faith is. I never had a community. I never had a true community. It was an online group. And so my fallback, was going to another online group of people, and it was atheism. I sort of fell into a depression in high school, and without even really knowing what it was, just started to notice that I wasn't happy. Escaping that depression and slowly coming out of that depression got me more and more into philosophy. I started studying specifically philosophy after sort of pushing Christianity aside. That got me into atheism. My atheism was a day-by-day sort of rejection of God. And if you had talked to me, I would say, oh, that's all hocus pocus. That's not real. That's all a myth. It was a wrestle. It was a fight in my heart. And I remember this specific day of just going to the gym, and I sort of, cursed the name of God when I was at the gym. And I was like, you don't have control over my life. But it's like, why am I cursing the name of God if I don't believe in it? If I don't believe in it, if I don't believe that God is real, why am I sitting there pretending like I'm talking to him? It wasn't till I met Amanda, so my wife, and we met on a college project. We're both nerds, right? She sort of brought me through this rational faith that she had and her family had, and they really helped me through that. And so I'd say by the time she was done with me, by the time, we're talking to her dad and her family members, sort of had a greater understanding. And it sort of snowballed from there. I started going to this church in Chelmsford called Grace Community, and I'd say that's when I started to become more open to it. I said, let's try this again. I'd say, like, for the atheist, it's like God is rational, God is logical, God is intelligent, God loves you. Jesus Christ is absolutely the Son of God. I'm not going to go all theology on you, but it's all real. What I do believe is if you center your life on God, you will see real change in your life. Unlike a lot of people, I got baptized when I was an infant. I think that baptism is showing that you are really serious about your faith, absolutely dead serious about your faith. It doesn't mean you are perfect in any way. I'm still, I'm still messed up. But that we're working on that. Will you publicly show this is the direction that I'm going in my life?